Gee, Rain, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
They're Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. They're laboratory mice. Their genes have been spliced. They're Pinky and the Brain. Brain, 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 brain.
Welcome to Pinky's Podcast, Week 13, Take 3. I've had vacuum go off from the housekeeper, dog barking, phone ringing. Hasn't been good so far. I get all the way through the podcast and then I have to fucking restart it because of an interruption. So, gotta make this quick. Gotta run out and go get my Chris Sale jersey for the Red Sox. Very exciting trade. We'll start off. Dwyer beat Kyle Cabral 117.5 to 78. Nice end of the season comeback from Dwyer, even though it didn't mean shit. Just means he didn't get regular season last place. So, he finishes in 9th. Kyle Cabral finishes 10th. Not a very good season from Kyle. It started out hot too, if I remember correctly. So, I think this season was an anomaly for Kyle, as I remember he's done pretty well in previous seasons. So, better luck next year, pal, and good luck in the losers bracket. Then Kyle Fayola beat Eddie 106.5 to 92. Eddie didn't start a second running back. Well, he did, DeMarco Murray, but he was on a bye week, so Eddie didn't give a shit about playoff seeding. So Kyle Fayola gets the number 1 seed, wins the division. Eddie will be the 3 seed. Kyle finished at 9-4, Eddie at 8-5. Then Davis beat Espo 88 to 81.5. Espo had very slim playoff hopes, but he was hoping to get in. Had to get a win though. Didn't get that. And also didn't score nearly enough points. So he would have lost the tiebreaker anyway. So both of those teams finished at 6 and 7, not in the playoffs. Then it was Ben versus Brian, battle of the ex-roommates. Ben won 131.5 to 110. Ben had a shitty week out of Colin Kaepernick with only 2 points, but David Johnson 33.5 points and Jordan Howard with 29 points really fucking helps. Ben also had 14 points out of both the Patriots defense and his kicker, Dustin Hopkins. So that helps when your defense and kicker score so many points. For Brian, 110 points wins you most weeks, but not this week. He had a big game out of Golden Tate. Michael Crabtree continued to play pretty well for him. T.Y. Hilton had a good game last night, but at that point it didn't really matter. And he also had a good game out of his defense with the Broncos. They were facing the Jaguars, so you had to expect they were going to put up some points. So, Ben finishes the season 7 and 6. He is the 4 seed in the playoffs. Brian's out of the playoffs. So no chance for a fucking 4-peat. Be 4-peat. So thank God there's no chance for Brian winning this fucking league again. Next, finally, I beat Barnesy 108 to 98.5. Close game. I almost fucked it up with lineup tinkering at 12:58. I was considering putting in Frank Gore for Spencer Ware. There was a 10.5 point difference there. If I had done that, I would have lost by 1 point, which wouldn't have been good. But I get the win. Drew Brees sucked for me. Philly's defense was terrible, but my 2 waiver wire additions this week, Zach Ertz, since Jordan Reed was hurt, 17.5 points, and Matt Prater put up 18 points from the kicker spot. So that was very nice. Melvin Gordon continues to be a beast with 21 points. For Barnesy, Tyrod Taylor didn't have a very good game against a pretty piss poor Oakland defense. He only had 12 points. Julio Jones had a pretty good game, but kind of didn't really play the fourth quarter. He put up 14.5 points, but I feel like he probably left some points out on the field. Devontae Adams did nothing. I mean, tough Houston defense, and it was like snowy, shitty conditions over in Green Bay. Rest of Barnes' team played pretty well, or decently well. Travis Kelce had 18 points. Not a bad week from Barnesy, but not enough to get the win. Both of us finished at 7-6, but I had the points tiebreaker. So I-Men won the division, and I am the 2 seed. Feels good. Once again, feel bad for Barnesy. But most points should be the tiebreaker. You do well all year, you get rewarded for it, and feels good to be in the playoffs. So next week I will be facing Eddie. Well, next 2 weeks it'll be me 2 seed, Eddie 3 seed, battling against each other. Once again, want to win, but wish I was facing like Espo or somebody who I don't fucking like as far as fantasy goes. Like, I feel bad beating Eddie. Espo, I take great pride in it. Same thing with Dwyer. Like, why the fuck do your team stink so bad, you guys? I like beating you, especially in the playoffs. I want to do it sometime. So please, don't suck next year so I can beat you in the playoffs. And then the 1 versus 4 seed is going to be Kyle Faola against Ben. Should be pretty high scoring. Both of them they were right behind Eddie for the most points in the league this year. Pretty close. Eddie had 1466. Faola had 1432, and Ben had 1428. So should be some high scoring matchups. I like my matchup against Eddie. Feel like he's kind of been sliding lately, so hopefully that continues. I find my way in the championship round. The losers bracket next week, it's going to be Barnesy versus Mayette in the 5-6 matchup. Then Espo versus Davis once again in the 7-8. And then Dwyer versus Kyle Cabral once again in the 9-10. So that concludes it for this week. Everybody go out and get your Chris Sale jerseys, jerseys, whatever the fuck you want to get. And good luck in the playoffs to everybody besides Eddie, unfortunately. Wish I could root for you, bud, but you suck this week, so now I have to play you. See you later.